Hello, everyone. Welcome to Midlands Christian College. I am Ms. Nyarazai Chakawia, the marketing manager for the group of schools. And here with me today is Pastor Titus Young. Welcome to MCC, Pastor.
It's good to be back home.
That's amazing.
You always say once an eagle, always an eagle.
Once an eagle, always an eagle. How does it feel to be back?
I kind of feel, although it's been like 26 years since I left the school, I kind of feel like coming back, I kind of feel like I've come back home and I never really left. Because, it's like I'm seeing myself in these classrooms. I'm seeing myself walking up, the corridors and stuff like that. So I'm pretty excited. I'm happy. It's good to be home.
That's amazing. It's wonderful to have you. What were the highlights of your time here at MCC?
How much time do we have? Because look, I was here from 1993 till 98, and obviously I did most of my growing up here. So my highlights: 98 athletic, and I set the triple jump record. And I had broken the previous record. Then I set a new record of the day, then broke my own record that I just set on the same day. So I remember I had to jump to break my own records, and it was like all the other sporting activities had finished, the athletics and everything else. So it was just like me on my own. And I remember the whole school, watching me, cheering me on, and like how they did on the Olympics, where like they're clapping you to. So it was like that, So I jumped, and I broke it again, and I think that record didn't stay for quite a while. So that's one of my highlights. The other highlight was I played hockey as well, and making the Midlands team, being selected for the Midlands team for the first time. That experience was very, very, very exciting for me. And I also remember being called to the office in my final year here to be told that, you're now going to be a prefect. We call prefects then. So those three incidences, I think, I love them. I remember them. Oh, and another one. In room 2, just there, my friends and I, we started a singing group. I don't even know why we thought we could sing, but we started this singing group, and we called it Just O2 because we formed this singing group in room 2. So we just called it Just O2. So that's something that we always laugh about now. So those are some kind of like funny and happy memories that I have at the school.
Oh, that's amazing. Thank you so much. How have these experiences impacted your life as an adult?
So being exposed to Christianity from a young age, it's something that was then set in my spirit without me actually knowing that I'm actually learning and I'm actually growing in the Lord, and learning certain skills that I then applied, in the later stages of my life, in my adulthood. I think courtesy is one of those things that we were taught here. Respect is something that I love, and I was taught that here. Walking with God and just depending on Him, trusting in the Lord. As the song says, "Trust in the Lord with all." We used to sing that song every assembly. So I suppose to summarize it, it's about, for me, is a Christian education and how they prepared me for the harsh world. So I love that about the school.
Wow, it sounds like you had a holistic experience here at
Very holistic.
You've spoken about sport, you've spoken about music group, you've spoken about your spiritual life. It seems as if, this experience, they really molded you. Would you say they were instrumental in you choosing the career path of being a Christian author, a pastor?
Becoming a Christian author, I can say 100%. Again, I'll come back to the to this fact. Christianity was our day-to-day. We learned how to pray here. We learned how to praise here. We learned how to read the Bible here, through our daily devotions, whether at the hostel or in class, our prayers that we made in class or during assembly. So it was part of us growing up, right? So when I then became a Christian author, I obviously have that foundation because I gave my life to the Lord when I was in this school. When I was 16 years old, 16 years old, that's when I gave my life to the Lord, on these very grounds, and we used to wear these wristbands called "What Would Jesus Do?" back in these days, So those things really helped me become an author now because it set the foundation of Christianity. I learned how to respect God and to know that He exists and to depend on Him and to trust in Him. So 100%, what I'm doing now has its foundation and its roots from here. All of it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Pastor. There's been so many developments since 1998. You say you were class of 1998.
Mm-hmm.
What are your impressions of the school now versus when you were still around?
Where were all these buildings when we're here? I kind of really feel jealous a little bit. But the school has really developed from when we were here. It wasn't bad when we were here. We were a much smaller, school with, less students. We had a little bus. What was the name again? I think it was called Tintin or something.
Yes.
It was more like a converted lorry or something like that, which was quite embarrassing for us to, to travel, visiting other schools. So I've seen now you have some luxury, coaches, not even buses, some luxury coaches, which is something that we didn't have back then. We didn't have the hall. We now have assemblies in. It wasn't even built. We were not even talking about it back in those days. I've seen that the classrooms, there's an extension at the back of where we're sitting right now. We didn't have those classrooms. And also the sports fields, right? There's so many other fields that we now have a soccer field. We didn't have one then. The rugby field is nice. Look, so I've seen a lot of growth in the school since, I've been away, 26 years? So in the last 26 years, I've seen such great development. So yeah, well done to the school.
Thank you very much. What advice would you give to students who are in the school now?
I really thought about this when I was speaking to my son, because I had an opportunity to bring my children. God has really blessed me with 4 kids now, and I brought two of my older kids to come and walk these corridors with me. And what will I tell them, or what advice will I give our current students? The advice that I'll give to our current students is the same advice that I'll give to myself if I was 16 years old again. Number 1, be patient. Number 2, trust the Lord. Number 3, trust the process. Don't be in any rush. Listen to your teachers. Listen to the wise Christian counsel that comes from the school, because you will need it. Pay attention in class, because definitely you will need that. But above all, enjoy your time at school. Enjoy these years. Enjoy them. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Pastor. What advice would you give to our potential parents who are maybe considering bringing their children here to MCC? Would you advise them against it or for it?
If I had an opportunity to speak to the whole world, I would tell them how good this school is. And I'm not just saying this because I'm an alumni. I'm saying this because having children, you want your kids to be in an environment that is not only safe, but has good education, that is also international, and that can give your children the right start in life and the right opportunities, both local and international. And I feel this school is actually providing that, because right now with the, I believe it's called the ACLI, which is the Christian curriculum, the Christian the word is really, is leaving me right now, but with that association that they have with, international Christian schools, we now have access to schools like Washington Christian Academy in the USA, and we're actually working on a program that will bring students from here to go to the US and exchange programs. That's what we're currently working on right now. And sending your child here, they're not only going to be exposed to the good things of Zimbabwe, like with our school trips all around the country. We're going to be looking at international journeys as well. So I feel your children will be looked after here. The education is great. The school fees is perfect, is good. And the sporting is very competitive. And there's also a culture that prepares your child for the big world. So I would really encourage them to send your children to MCC. It's the best school ever.
Thank you so much, Pastor. I'm holding these books here. Can you tell us more about these books? There's Kingdom Life, How to Walk in the Victory of Christ, author Pastor Titus Young.
Awesome. So this book is really an inspiration to those who are going to read it. And I'm not marketing my book, right? I'm not marketing my book, but I'm just sharing what the Lord has done in my life. This holds 40 lessons that the Lord has taught me in my walk with Him from the time that I was in this school. It's called How to Walk in the Victory of Christ. This school taught me how to walk in Christ's victory. God has given us, God died on the cross, Jesus died on the cross for us, and He has given us victory. So there is a life that us Christians have to live, which is the life of victory. And throughout this book, I've written 40 teachings that have helped me to walk this life of victory. So I think it's a good book. It's about the kingdom life, which is the life that God has given us. And I'm excited to be able to share this book and to leave this book here at this school to any of the students that might want to learn from this book. It's definitely available in the school department library.
Thank you very much. And I saved the best for last. You know what they say, behind every successful man is a beautiful woman. I am holding here Be You, Discover Your Identity in Christ by Mrs. Cici Young.
My beautiful wife.
Yes. Can you tell us more about that?
So let me tell you more first about her.
Yes.
Right? And there's a reason why I want to share this. Growing up here, they instilled healthy marriages. So leaving this school, I wouldn't say I was ready to get married, but I had a good foundation because these were the kind of classes that we were taught, right? So I met my beautiful wife 24 years ago. So you can imagine, I left here 26 years ago. 2 years later, I met my now wife, and we've been together since then. And she's an amazing, amazing, amazing woman who has helped me to, in my walk in writing, and she's given me 4 kids. So she's the author of this amazing book, Be You, Discover Your Identity in Christ. There's a story that she shares about her, but there's some aspects about me as well in there, and our journeys of how we discovered our identity in Christ. We are not just authors. We are not just parents. We are not just business owners or anything like that. We are not our houses, our posh houses that we live in. We are not our posh cars that we drive. We're not the clothes that we wear. All these things don't define us. What defines us is what God calls us. So this book really is about discovering who you are in Christ. What has God called you? The moment you know that, you will then know your purpose. So this one I'm advertising. Get this on Amazon.
Thank you so much, Pastor Titus Young, for visiting our school, for coming back home.
You can't say your school. It's my school too. I feel part of
our school.
There you go.
Our school. Yes.
Yeah.
We look forward to having you here again. Before we go, class of 1998, is it?
Class of 98, always the best.
Would you like to give a shout out?
How much time do I have? Class of 98, shout out to Jonathan Will, my guy, Tangai Githu, my guy, Nigel Daura. You guys are like awesome. TC, Tapiwa Chimboza, God bless. Tinashi Jibwana, God bless you. These were the guys that I hang around with. Then over to the ladies, some guys in Bandu, Tafara Murwira, Tonadzai Kombai. Yeah, that was us, the perfect crew.
Thank you.
We ran the streets.
Thank
These corridors. Yeah.
All right. So representing the
I know I forgot somebody. Sorry, I know I forgot somebody. But please, if you watch this video and I forgot your name, forgive me.
It was, a long time ago.
Yeah. Stephen Toombs.
Yes. So thank you very much. Representing the class of 1998, we had with us today Pastor Titus Young, a Christian author who resides in the United States of America. Thank you very much.